The project talks about temporary use as a new right to the city. At first, we identified all the temporary uses that we could find and point those on the drawing that we named the Underground Brussels Urban Development Map. This drawing represents not only a map, but also the development of our project. It tells the story of the temporary use. Thereby, we could begin the writing. We wrote 3 books that we wanted in continuation of the International Situationist Journal: a political manifesto, a practical guide, and a practical example we made. Let's get inside the manifesto. At first, we searched for the essence of the right to the city by analyzing the thought of many writers. We then extract what will be for us the maxims of the project and the new right to the city. Those told us what to do and reminded us why we did it. At this point, we could go back to the temporary uses, only to discover that there was a lot of different approaches, mostly driven by passion. We then realized that once again we could help understanding these different approaches by making a practical guide to help the opening of temporary uses. Let's get inside it. The guide is mostly organized on 2 axes: the temporality and the different scenarios that people might encounter. A third axe talks about the help that the architects could bring to the project. In addition to the axes, the guide is organized in questions and answers. You can look up a question in the index and find the answer in the guide. It also provides legal documents that you can rip off directly from the guide, find online, or copy. We could then apply the theory on a practical example, the temporary use of the Tripostal. The building adjoins the Midi station in Brussels. It was initially implanted on a residential district that turns over time in an office district on one side of the station, so that the building stands now at the edge of 2 distinct worlds. In opposition to this monofunctional way of making the city, a call for the temporary use of the building was initiated in March 2019. It was the opportunity to work on an emblematic modernist building known by all inhabitants of Brussels and empty since 1938. It was initially designed to sort and distribute the mail in Brussels and in the entire country. We decided to begin the project by using the building as a new connection between the station and the neighborhood. Then we established a program with as many different functions as we could find, that will succeed each other in time in order to use the most of the building. We organized them by temporality, degree of privacy, and compatibility. We could then draw scenarios and principles for each floors. For the ground floor, that we wanted as alive as possible, and that really was the image of the project. For the basement, that we decided, due to the lack of natural light, to turn into a sport area with a skate park and a boulder hall. For the first floor, that we wanted more quiet to house workshops and small offices. For the station floor, where we decided to make a café as a connection between the workshops and the station platforms. And for the second floor, that housed rehearsal and performing spaces for the performing arts. We decided to keep the last floors empty, as a reminder that the project is based on an ongoing construction process. As Jana Friedman said, there is only 2 ways to achieve a total self-management of the city. First, the direct participation of the citizen itself. Then, the training of architects that will be teachers of the fundamental knowledges required to the urban life. Now, we just need to find a way to educate those.